terrific. I think that the new guys, their talent level and their excitement they've brought to the program has really kind of spread, within everybody else, which is really neat to see. It's kind of raised the other guys' games a little bit. I think our practices have been, a lot more aggressive right now at this point of the year. We've done, a few test type of sets that I feel like as a group we've handled better than some other years. So it's been really exciting, and I think they're meshing really well together. They seem to really be getting along and having fun with each other. And sometimes in a small group, that's easy to do, and I think they've really kind of taken the reins and done a good job with it.
We have a big class of freshmen coming in, especially this year, and they're a very, very talented group, probably the best group of freshmen we've had in a long time. So that always adds an interesting dynamic because it's not often that you get the freshmen that are pushing the pace in preseason, which has been the case this year.
Right, yeah, our seniors last year, Jake and Stefan, they left us in a great position this year, great leadership role, and Shaun, Mike, myself, Chandler, we're just trying to build off of that. And the freshmen understand that. We've sat them down, we've talked about our goals for this year, what we expect out of them, and they've grasped it completely. They've done a great job in the weight room so far, in the pool, they've been doing really well. Going from high school here to college, we lift at 6:20 in the morning. So, the late nights studying and then the early mornings, we haven't had any trouble with them getting here in the morning. So that's been great. The men's team, the team cohesion is great. We all get along. This has probably been my favorite group, all 4 years, my senior year. It's great. I'm loving it so far.
I'm excited because not only has our team progressively gotten better, but we've gotten better in the classroom. We've become a more responsible team. And I think that's sort of been an overall shift in our team culture, which is definitely something Coach has been pushing towards for a number of years. So I'm happy to see it start to come together, not only on the academic side, but the results we're hoping to see in the pool this year as well.
I mean, certainly we were really excited last spring. We had such a great GPA, and it was one of the highest, I think the highest we've had since I've been here. And as Shaun said, I think people are starting to get it. I think a lot of it's great modeling from our upperclassmen about, making the right decisions and focusing and doing the things we need to do, and, trying to talk a little bit more about it up front in recruiting. And, we're a place where we really want that expectation. I think they're, maybe it's a little different than some other places, but that's really what we try to promote. And it's nice to see that. I mean, that's kind of what we've been looking for. How do we become, better citizens in the community? How do we become better students on campus, and, consequently, better swimmers as we hope to do. And we've really worked hard to get to this point.
Right off the bat, we've hit pretty high intensity, pretty high yardage. Just sort of get everyone back in the flow of things, and we eased our way into it a little bit. And obviously we have days that are harder than others, or days where we want to pinpoint different aspects of whether it's our stroke, our turns, starts, sort of any of the above. But we've really sort of just jumped right into it, and no one said it was going to be super fun, but when you get to a race and you hit a best time or you move up in the PSACs, I mean, all the training's worth it.
But it's just trying to build on that momentum of last year, trying to improve, just trying to maybe get into that fifth spot. It's my senior year, and just really just trying to go out with a bang. And it's not just myself, but I know all the other swimmers want to do that, and the freshmen, they'll understand when we get towards the end of the year. But just in the beginning, it's a tough stretch. Just really, really try to focus on one day at a time, because at the end, the goals will come.
I mean, it's really about preparing to race well and then going out and executing that. I think that, with the training and then resting, the times come, the times will put themselves together. But it's those little things, and, every sport talks about them when we have them in swimming. How well are you turning? How well are you getting off the blocks? Are you able to drive your kick home at the end? Little things like that. Like, are you really focusing on those kinds of things? Because those are the things you really need to make habit, so that when we do rest, they're just, occurring naturally. So those are the things I'm really going to talk about for this weekend when we go up to Connecticut is, how well are we doing little things to get ourselves ready? Are we preparing well before the races? Are we warming down after the race as well? Just kind of all those technical things that we need to do. And the racing's always exciting. I mean, that's, sort of fun after all these weeks of practice to get out and, really get up and see where you're at. It's a good benchmark. But, Again, great times or not this weekend, there's still a lot of work ahead of us, and the first step is making sure that we're taking care of the little things that can really help us be successful down the road.
That and another big aspect of the beginning of the year is building a foundation. Um, building a foundation which we can work off of for the rest of the season. It's important to get the little things right early on. So whether that's breathing into your turns, making sure your stroke is as efficient as possible, or just sort of building a positive mentality going into the back half of the season. It's really easy to be positive when it's nice outside. It's 80. You get to go running a little bit. Get outside. But mid-December, January, when it's freezing, you're in here for 3 hours at a time training. The work you do in the front half and the foundation you've set, you really notice the difference in the quality of the results you get.
Competitive. Focus on the little things. This is early in the season where you're able to fix those things. You can work on your turns, work on your finishes, kicking off the wall, your breathing. So that's all about what this weekend is about.
We're still not overall place-wise where we'd like to be, but I feel like we've been more competitive and had some good representation with some things. And I think this new group can really do that. I think we have some returning guys that are kind of on the cusp of breaking out, if you want to say. Even Shaun's a good example. Even as a senior, he's not really been a scoring guy, but he's right there, and I think he's more than capable of doing that this year. So it'll be exciting to see how we develop, and I think we have a good core of new guys to build around for a few years. We're definitely going to be stronger in some events. We're going to be scoring in some events that we haven't in the past. And, again, I think it's that kind of energy level that'll spread to everybody else that I think we're going to go in there and we'll be competitive. I definitely think that the majority of our guys that make the meet will have a realistic opportunity to score once they're there.